Are we ready?
All right. Thank you guys for taking the time to be here, whether it is the morning, afternoon, or evening. We are very excited to have all of you here at our investors meeting to talk to you all about this wonderful project called NRGY, a decentralized finance, a DeFi coin that is really going to be in a notable space in a very short period of time. Just in a short period of time, we've taken our coin from when it launched to about $1.80 to over now about $100. We even hit 170, but then people started pulling profits. So that brought it back down to the reality point of $100, right? And even still then, in 8 days, that is a very fast amount of growth and sustainable to what this project is and pertainable to what this project is. And that is something really exciting. So I don't want to take too much time. I'm going to kick it off to Alan, let him overview the project, and we will go from there. Again, just to be clear, any questions that you have, you are going to place them in the chat, and then we will answer your questions in the chat and proceed in that fashion. Thank you very much. Alan, take it away.
Thank you all. I appreciate you taking the time this evening. Very thankful and fortunate to talk to you about NRGY. NRGY, though, is not just a coin or a token. It is a financial system, and it's going to change everything for people who choose to participate in it. It's a financial system that we need today more than ever, due to the fact that we have quite frankly, a malfunctioning one that we all have to participate in. New ones with new technology are going to be the choice for people. Where do you want to work? Where do you want to save? And what offers the best tools for investing to get the highest rate of return? Now, having access to investment technology is the great divide today. Those who are well off and have access to the very, very best investment technology, and those who are not, do not. And that is one of the leading causes of wealth disparity. So to give you an idea about NRGY, what makes it an incredible innovation is, first of all, this is the very first digital asset where every holder from its inception adds capital directly into a liquidity pool that backs its value. There are no influencer giveaways. There's no developer cut. There's no huge pre-mine of 25 billion coins sitting somewhere. These are not reward tokens, as you see in a lot of other DeFi projects. These are not governance tokens, which allow you to change the smart contracts that NRGY is based on. NRGY smart contracts are owned by no one. They are not on any central server or central entity that requires a tech team. So NRGY never can go down. NRGY is a true DeFi app. It's DeFi on the front end, and it's DeFi on the back end. So it's the very first digital asset, as I mentioned, where the capital that goes into the system is always proportional to the balances of coins in everybody's wallet. Even in Bitcoin, hardware miners get a built-in price advantage over others, and this is not the case. The key feature here is fair economics. Fairness is a recipe really for a deeply liquid coin. And so the second innovation is NRGY's elastic supply. With most other coins, the supply isn't really synced to the amount of capital flowing into the system. Instead, other factors determine if new capital is produced. But with NRGY, the minting is controlled by the amount of capital added to the market maker staking contract. And if any of you have taken a look at the user interface, you can see, I think we opened up with like 11,600 NRGY at the beginning on Saturday, late afternoon. And I think we're down to just 100 or 200 left. And that determines the amount of capital that goes into that market maker staking contract, determines how many new coins are going to be minted by the smart contract next week, the week after that, and the week after that. And it's weighted on the back end. And so what that means is that all of us who are fortunate enough to be market making stakers for energy are going to receive the bulk of new coins minted. We are the miners, we're the minters, and we're also the people that are going to participate in the economic system. And I'll go into that here in a moment. So the third and a really exciting innovation is the fact that if you look at other DeFi projects, they are companies, they are hosted on regular domains with servers, and the result of that, of course, is they're not truly DeFi, where energy is hosted on the interplanetary file system. It's the new, they call it D2, the new Web 2.0. It's a truly decentralized application. On the front end, it's decentralized as an IPFS, and on the back end, on the Ethereum network, smart contract. So once again, we've got no central server to maintain. We have no one that we have to rely on to keep energy working for us. It's truly an unstoppable DeFi financial system and app. And the fourth innovation is the fact that energy is a DeFi store and marketplace. It incentivizes the creation and the development of exciting information, technology that will be that's available on apps. I'm going to show you some of the beta versions that we have that we're just getting ready to deploy publicly here within the next few days. So the apps creators and developers, they share part of the revenue, not with a centralized entity like Apple Store or Google Play or Microsoft Store, but instead they share with us, the decentralized community of NRGY holders, in the market maker staking contract. Those fees are automatically allocated to every staker that has a minimum of 25 coins in the market maker staking contract. So not only do you get mining rewards, you also get the opportunity of fee revenues from apps developed by developers for energy. So once again, first, it's the first digital asset where the capital inflow is backing the liquidity of the coin. No giveaway, no developer share, no shelf of a huge number of coins being produced, no reward token, and no governance, and no one can control or change the contract. Two, elastic supply. Minting is controlled only by the amount of capital that's added to the market making staking contract that produces the minting rewards and that we all enjoy. The new supply, it only increases as more capital backs and flows into the system. Third, only truly DeFi app in DeFi, using the front end IPFS, the back end on Ethereum. We truly are unstoppable. And fourth, once again, our ecosystem where users purchase breakthrough investment and trading apps and other apps that use the same technology of decentralization. And instead of sharing with a centralized company, it's shared with all of us. I'm sure all of us could look at our phones today and see the incredible apps that are on our phone and the huge companies that are behind those things. In the future, this is all going to change. Apps are going to be owned, and the profits and the benefit of that is going to flow to decentralized communities that support the user base for those apps. And so we are way, way ahead of the curve in our implementation and our thinking. So these are not four separate things. They're really one integrated and very powerful financial system. So that's energy. And that's really one of the things that is going to set us apart. So the next thing I'm going to do is, normally let me just check here real quick in review. Usually I like to take a quick little pause here. Sometimes I threw a lot of information, boom, 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 things at you. And I like to, at least, Peter, let's see if do we have any question in particular that we need to ask, that we need to answer? Let's
Oh
see.
no, we'll ask everybody. Hey, collectively, guys, do you have any questions? Again, if you have any questions that maybe you're unsure about something, you don't understand what we're exactly talking about, maybe you need a little bit of a better breakdown of exactly what DeFi is and how it's so different. Maybe Alan, if you could talk for like 2 more minutes just about DeFi itself so that people understand that.
Sure. DeFi, the financial markets haven't really changed the way they function for hundreds of years. Typically, a financial market consists of an order book, and people determine the price depending on how they're feeling at the moment. And it's a competitive process where people are bidding and determining what price they want to pay. And a lot of times it's not that transparent as far as what the real liquidity of a particular instrument is at any given time. And they're also offering, and there's a spread that needs to be paid between the two things. And so this is the way for hundreds of years financial markets have operated until what's called the automated market maker model. And instead of price being determined by the whims of traders in the market, instead it's determined by a computer algorithm. Instead of the liquidity being hidden, where you don't really know what's really backing the particular coin, instead now the liquidity is transparent, right? And so as people sell, buy, for example, buy energy, and they deposit US dollar coins into the liquidity pool, it simply divides the price by the supply and produces a new price, right? And there's some things in there to prevent prices from moving up too quickly. So there's some limits, but ultimately it's a fair process. It is it's more efficient, and it's a great in terms of finding price and seeking price. So that's a huge innovation. This is something that financial markets haven't changed since the Dutch created them, right? And now here we are, and we have the technology of not only decentralized peer-to-peer trading and investing, we have a whole new way of finding price in financial markets. You're going to see this model, in my guesstimation, spread way outside of cryptocurrency and into all areas of financial transactions. So this is going to change the lives of billions of people. It's not just about the fact that there's a more fair revenue sharing. It's also privacy. I mean, how all of us have heard recently how the brokerage firms are selling the information on our trading to hedge funds or trading against us themselves. With DeFi, it's a fair playing field. All the information is out there. People can see it. No one person has an advantage over another. So these are really, really important things. And it's going to lead to a much more secure and better financial system for all of us.
Awesome. Great explanation. All right. Maybe let's touch next on the different applications that are actually the dApps, the decentralized apps that are going to be built on the platform.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at a couple things here. First of all, today, I'll just show you, this is we were running, we have a financial platform called Trade Genie that integrates with TD Ameritrade. And what it does is it allows you to pick trading apps in your TD Ameritrade account. You can pick whichever one you want. You can decide, I want to buy, I want to sell. I chose, just for an example, AMD. When we go to you can go to the historical back testing of AMD, and you can see exactly over here. There's a nice little chart. Let me just zoom this in so you can see. This goes back to August of last year. Though past performance, as we know, is no guarantee of future returns. When we cross a road, we tend to use our past experience to guide us. And obviously having an algorithm in this particular case, where AMD went up, doubled the performance of just buying and holding AMD. And so these are the kinds, and you can see here it has a 67% success rate on its trading. Obviously, when you're trading, it reduces your exposure and your risk, and the profit factor is 1.53, which means on every trade, over the course of a moderate period of time, that you tended to gain 53% more on your winners than you lost on your losers, and that's a really, really super exciting algorithm. And you can run this now in your account. And so these algorithms and many, many more have been developed and are going to be available, and outside companies as well. And you can see basically here's a list of it. And so the Trade Genie platform connects with any TD Ameritrade user. You literally click here, it authorizes you, you put in your information, and basically that's how you log into the platform. Right over here, we can just see today, almost every trade was a successful trade. That's not every day, but today. And we are working on a few little kinks in it because each broker has a different method of accepting orders. And so we're in the process of going through the testing to make sure that the orders are entered correctly. For outside developers, we have a API, which is accessible to outside developers. They can place orders. So if it's an investment firm, algorithm firm, a trading firm, they can literally place orders directly on our platform from whatever system that they've developed. And the best part for us as energy holders, only energy can be used to use these algorithms. When users pay for the use of these algorithms on a subscription basis, those funds are deposited and swapped with the energy coin, and energy then 20% is then added to the fees and the rewards of the market maker stakers, and 80% is paid out to the developer. But this is an open platform that's going to allow all kinds of developers and people with different insights, and you'll get to choose different algorithms, and obviously the best algorithms will get the most trading. So this is the kind of, when they say we want our money to work for us, this is how you get your money to work for you. So while you're working during the day, this is generating trades for you. And though there are risks to trading, so caveat emptor, but having a solid research-backed algorithmic trading program available to people today is a key tool to gaining wealth. And those are the type of tools that are going to be available here with Energy System, right? This is another app that we just came out with, and some of you may be aware of it. It's called the Community Builder, and I was super excited. We actually got this deployed on Saturday. And once again, Community Builder is an unstoppable app, back end on the Ethereum network, front end on IPFS, and you connect. This is a first of its kind. You connect your wallet to it, and what it does is it links, here's my wallet address, and it creates a custom building link, right? So now all I have to do is send this out to someone, but it's linked to the Ethereum wallet. So it knows, I know this is the person that referred me. I don't know who this is, but the point is that it's all linked on the blockchain. So it's the first kind of, and the reason we built this is because Energy is not a centralized company. We don't have a staff of people or a company that's getting a profit share on Energy. So as a result, to build a community, we've got to incentivize people, teams of people, to go out there and do the very, laborious hard work, a lot of stuff like Peter's doing, inviting people, talking to people. There needs to be incentivization for it. And so we created this program so two people can work together as a team, talk to people about and build our community of users. Our community users do two things. First of all, when they come in and stake Energy, they're adding rewards. They're building capital, backing backing Energy. And at the same time, they're bringing on potential users for our apps in our ecosystem. So it's actually really, really, and what's nice is you can, if you don't have Energy, You can use Ethereum, and you can just put Ethereum here and hit stake. If you have US dollar coin, you can use US dollar coin. And keep in mind, this is a front end. All the funds are on Uniswap. Okay, all the funds to purchase energy go into the liquidity pool and go onto the pool for energy USDC energy. If you have energy that you've already purchased, you can also just stake that directly here. And you also can unstake at any time you want. Now, keep in mind, when you're participating in the energy financial system, you're not giving your money to some company or some people. There is no company or people. You're always in control of your own funds. You can buy, sell, claim, stake whenever you want. You have complete control over your assets at all time. Everything is controlled by smart contracts, and nobody owns the smart contracts, and no one can change that. And this is a unique feature of energy itself. So we can scroll down here a little bit, and you can see, I've been fortunate. I earned actually 134 energy and since Saturday, which is fantastic. And that's just simply sending out some links, to a few people. And you can do the same. You can work with your a teammate who's your level 2, right? And that level 2 person together, you guys can get out there and spend your time building it. And if you want to build a community, you can. If you don't want to, and you want to take a more passive route, you can just send this out to a few people. And if they join, you earn energy. Okay.
Hey,
so
Alan.
It's an exciting program. Yes.
Let me just go through a couple questions that are here just so that you can understand. So a few people asked, so on the community builder side, is there a security phrase, or how do we keep our staking safe? How does it keep it secure?
Well, the security is built right into the smart contracts. That's how the whole system is built. The security is enhanced by many years of successful development on Ethereum, so that the security is solid. You don't have to be at all concerned about that. The funds are separated by your address. Everything stays on chain. So it's not like it's sitting in some custody somewhere where a person can have access to it. And if you look at some of the other DeFi projects, I know Farm, they control funds. A lot of times you deposit your money into these different pools, but there's actually a person that's got access to your funds, and that obviously leads to the potential, and I'm not saying there aren't some good reputable projects out there, but it leads to potential where, your funds could go missing, right? With this, funds are never controlled by a person. It's all done through a smart contract, and no one can change the way these contracts operate.
Okay, so in addition to that, then someone asked the question, is this just for a trading platform, or does it work with brokers, meaning the Trade America one, Ameritrade one?
It works, we developers can develop for anything where they think a users have an interest. Now, TD Ameritrade is a pretty big firm. I developed this for TD Ameritrade, but it can also work for other brokers as well. It's just a matter of us getting developers to develop those particular applications. So it's not limited to anything. It doesn't have to be only financial apps. It can be social apps. I was talking to one developer who wants to do a voting app where people can kind of compare their votes to the actual vote totals that are produced on election day, to try to cross-check and help people gain confidence in the voting system. It's an energy app that's supported by advertising. There's other ideas for other apps, and you'll be able to participate and crowdfund with energy as well, help sponsor some of these exciting ideas and concepts. And you can do it by staking your coins the same way you generate community builder rewards. You can produce developer rewards the same way. So we have a crowd staking app coming. We also have smart contract fund. Smart contract fund lets multiple investors, using a smart contract, put funds into a fund, and a fund manager who's trading their own account, you get to copy their trades, right? And as they do well, that manager charges a fee. Those fees are paid out in energy, and they're paid out to the developer usually. And once again, it's 80% to the developer and 20 to the market maker staking pools. So this kind of, and developers, what do they want to do? They want to work for and get paid with energy, because it's in the right now it's in the highest growth rate. It has a fantastic yield, and most importantly, it's liquid. Why is it liquid? Because there's no giveaway. There's no, bonus to this person. There's no one person getting free coins. None of that happens. All of the coins, all of the energy that's produced before it comes into circulation is backed up by liquidity. And that's the recipe for a deeply liquid, attractive coin that developers want to work for, right?
Okay, Alan, next, so let me answer this question real fast. On staking, is there a set amount? Yep, you have to actually stake one energy coin. You have to stake one energy coin. And remember, if you stake one energy coin, 25% of that is going to be distributed to the person who introduced you to it and the person above that. So 15% for the first community builder tier, and 10% for the second community builder tier. And again, this is not an MLM. This is just set up on a 2-tier level so that we can just say thank you to the people for allowing them to expand our horizons and really introduce us to this project. The next question is, Alan lets you answer this one in full. I know it, but I'll let you answer it. Where does the 7.5% to unstake go? How does the burn work?
Okay, the design of energy is to have a 7.5% burn, and the purpose of that is pretty simple. We didn't in the design, we don't want people just coming in, depositing money into the staking contract, generating a reward, and then pulling out. That obviously defeats the whole purpose. So with a 7.5% burn, first of all, that disincentivizes that type of activity. Now, where does the coins go? Well, if any of us have ever burned something, they disappear. They are burnt and gone forever, reducing the supply and making energy more rare and more valuable.
Okay, the next question that is asked is no backdoor into the smart contracts like others have had?
Nope, there's no way to get a backdoor into this contract. The contract, one of the reasons is because just like you decide tonight to lock our room down, energy contracts are locked. Most other contracts are not. They have a provision in them called governance. And though governance allows flexibility to make changes, so there is some advantages to governance, right? But it also allows for changes to occur. And so when you have a smart contract that, even though it has great security, but still has the ability to be changed, obviously that adds to the possibility that it could be changed in a way that people that are in the current system don't expect. I'll give you an example. There's a DeFi project called Farm. And this actually happened to a number of DeFi projects where they were able to do a flash loan and manipulate the price of USD Tether and effectively take the difference. A flash loan essentially is like an instant loan where they could change the price of a stable coin and go in and basically generate a profit and drain a tremendous amount of coins from some of these pools. It happened on Farm, happened on a number of other projects. And so they're holding funds. It's just anytime you hold funds for other people, you have that possibility. And the great part about energy is we never hold funds. Now, you'll notice when you stake right now for the first time using the community builder, it charges you a couple of transaction fees. And the reason is it basically authorizes the spend, but it doesn't it basically doesn't put the funds in a central place where it can be attacked or taken. None of the smart contracts that we have.
One thing I do want to add onto that is if you do not have enough Ethereum when you're going to initiate that contract and you're going to initiate the transactions, if you do not have enough Ethereum, and let's say you get to the first part and you go through that phase and it lets you through, and you go to the next part and it tells you you're getting hit with a $140 fee because high congestion or whatever the case may be, you're going to get hit with that first fee and you're going to have to do it all over again. So you got to make sure that, you really should have, just in case, maybe about $200 worth of Ethereum. God forbid you don't have enough, or just don't process the transaction, wait till a very strange time during the day or night, and then do your staking then. The other thing is, in addition to that, right now, it is working flawlessly off of the computer. We are working to make it so that we can also use it for the iOS and Android devices as well. Alan's going to be working on getting that done. As well, the next question, Alan, says, any outside audit done for transparency and safe for each of us?
Yes, we have had an audit done in the development of the project. We're going to be, we've had a couple people who've asked for that. And we're just, when we were building this, we were on a tight time frame, and we had outside experts reviewing all the code. So we're waiting for the auditor to basically produce the reports. You know how auditors are. Sometimes they take their time, but we'll be receiving that here shortly, and we will be posting that for everybody to see the results of the audit. And I think
Awesome.
that will, that's coming up.
So the next question, I'll answer this one. So the community builder is always attached to your MetaMask. Yes. So when Alan opens this site up, essentially your MetaMask, if it's open and you hit the connect button. So Alan, you want to jump out and jump back in so people can see how that works?
Yeah, and it was beautiful how quick and the system is. And once again, we're not going to some outside server and having to connect through the internet. It's on IPFS, and so it's really super quick and super fast. And this shows us here that we had, there's only 328 coins left. This was Saturday. This was 11,600, right? 11,000, it's like 11,300. And so this is going to be gone here probably before the end of the night. And now the other part of the community builder, it does something really important. So all of us live busy lives. So I want to get in, and there's no available staking. It's gone. Well, the community builder, what it does for you is it automatically puts you in a reservation, first come, first serve. And so as soon as a capacity opens up in the staking, market maker staking contract, guess what? You get in. So if you're busy on a Saturday and you can't get in front of your computer or your phone, or you miss it, this is going to automatically manage that for you and make sure that you can get into the market making staking. It also is going to backlog stakes, which is great for us too, because that's going to help ensure that we reach our target each week. And those targets produce new coins into the future, right? If we go to the minting schedule, which I think I have over here, let's see. Okay. You can see that everything depends on the market making staking contract. So the first few weeks here, you'll see we're kind of in this area right here. There's actually 11,404 coins this week. Next week, 15,000. And the week after that, 19,000. And after that, it drops off to the 4% range. And the reason is that we wanted to make, in the design, was to make sure there was some initial, to meet demand, some initial coins available. If for some reason these numbers aren't reached, it does roll over to the next week. And what this does is it puts a lot of scarcity on Uniswap for the actual energy itself, and makes it very, very rare, makes it very sought after, and hopefully maintains the potential for a fantastically buoyant price, right? Which is what we're all looking for. I want to show you here. You say, okay, well, energy is at 100. I mean, I like buying things that are 0.00123 cents, right? Well, when you buy something that's 0.00123 cents, it's probably 25 billion of those out there. You can see we're at we're just starting. I mean, we're literally 166 out of 166. Um, but if you look at these other projects, they've been around for almost a year, right? We've only been around for literally like a little over a week. And so at $100, we have $1 million in the liquidity pool. Imagine where we'll be when we're at $3 million, and imagine where we'll be when we're at $5 million in terms of valuation, and upwards, right? As you go. I mean, 5 million is at 101. When we break into the top 100, we'll get picked up on a lot of the charting services, right? 5 million, and you can see it keeps going up. 7 million, 9 million. So you can kind of, just kind of guesstimate that a multiple of what we have over the coming period of time, as more capital is built up into the system, we're going to see higher prices automatically determined, not by us, not by someone trying to run the price up, but by a computer algorithm that maintains a fair, orderly market and price.
Hey, Alan, can you also touch on, so if someone actually stakes more than 25 coins, what are the extensive benefits that they're going to get going forwards, and how powerful can that be?
I mean, I expect that the fee revenues from our ecosystem and apps should far outweigh the mining rewards that you'll receive by being in the market maker staking contract. So it's set to be fair. Everyone gets a chance at you have to have a minimum of 25 coins balance. When you're at 25 coins, when the fees from TD Ameritrade trading, Forex trading, smart contract fund trading, or any other app that's developed by developers, those fees are automatically distributed inside the market making staking contract. And if you have 25, you get a piece, right? Beautiful. And that's where the growth factor comes well after 100 weeks. We're building a financial system that has growth, it has fairness, it's got capital, liquidity, all the things that we all want if we were to choose to participate in a particular financial system, and a limited supply like Bitcoin. And more importantly, it doesn't matter about me. I mean, God forbid I drop dead tomorrow. This system would continue to run. If any of us, it's not dependent on us trusting a company or a person. It's not depending on outside entity or even a central hosting site. It's simply a system that people can choose to connect their wallets to and enjoy the benefits that it offers.
So two things to touch on next. So David actually asked, do you get actual energy coin? Yes. So when you bring someone through the community builder program, let's say you bring someone in directly who actually purchases 100 energy, they stake their 100 energy, you are going to receive as a reward 15 of those energy tokens, which right now, is worth about $1,500. So it's a nice amount, but if you really just hold on to it in the long run, that could be worth potentially, $1,000 each a coin, or even more than that. And we're not talking, 2 years from now, we're talking maybe 6 months or maybe even less, who knows? We'll see how everything works out, how fast everything builds, how many developers we get on top of this program going, and things of that nature. Alan, the next question is, and we touched on this earlier today, and I believe this clearly has to be a technical thing that we have to work out, but does the total amount of energy earned fluctuate? My number went down slightly, just curious. So I think that's something that the programmers have to take a look at. It's probably just a communication error, and we just need to fix that up.
Yeah, there's some front end issues on the way that the data is being displayed. It needs to be improved. And I was talking with one of the developers who's doing that for us, and it's going to get cleaned up here pretty quick. Provide more. And what was the error that was? I just wanted to.
So it's under the builder. I believe it's under the builder rewards. So it's under the builder rewards. That was one place where we saw it, and then I believe that was really the only place where that was the fluctuation that was happening.
Yeah, I think it was mentioned earlier today, the same thing. And I don't, yeah, we're going to have to wait for, the overseas developers to wake up tonight. And I will make sure that we get, an answer to that and find out what's going on with that.
Yeah,
I can't tell you.
there's your,
Probably a connection error.
there was your viable proof that it's on the IPFS. Okay, so the next question, oh, Lamont, I'll get back to you, buddy. I'll send you the community builder link. Okay, for the audit, yeah, we'll get the audit done. As soon as you have that, you'll receive the information. Let me see. Okay, how does a person make a withdrawal and what is the payout? Is it in USDC or ETH or which one?
Make a withdrawal of your builder rewards.
Meaning, let's just say, let's touch on withdrawal of builder rewards. Let's touch on if somebody wanted to liquidate their whole profile, what do they have to do?
Yeah. Well, your builder rewards go right into your MetaMask wallet. So it's your balance in your wallet. They're sent right to you. So they're immediately available. You can sell them for Ethereum or US dollar coin. You can stake them. You can hold them, right? And so you can send them to other people if you want as a method of payment. So there's really no limit to what you can do with it. So yeah, but the builder rewards are liquid. That's the whole point of Energy. We wanted to create the most liquid form of cryptocurrency possible. And by having a system that emphasizes the fact that the capital in is proportional to the balances that are in the system, that's really the key to making sure. Now the price is going to fluctuate. You saw us, go from a really high price. It came down. Quite frankly, I was surprised it moved so quickly. People are excited about what we're doing and where we're going, and we don't have people manipulating the market or trying to. It's what people want to do at the particular time. So we have a lot of upside as we build more capital. 1.1 million in liquidity, as you can see, is nothing for DeFi. We have strong advantages in comparison to other choices that people have in DeFi. But we're new. We're developing a reputation together. All of us, when I say we, I mean literally we. This doesn't depend on any particular person or company. It depends on all of our efforts. And so we're building systems like the community builder that help us and help get people to do things for us that are going to increase the market value of energy, at the same time, and more importantly, increase the holders and the holder base of the financial system as well.
Awesome. Does anyone else have? Oh, actually, so Alan, where exactly will the audit be placed once it is public?
It'll be linked it'll be linked here. It'll be linked everywhere. So we're just waiting for them to release it. It's on the way. So I'm hopeful that they'll deliver here pretty quick. And so we want to do everything we can to ensure the confidence that people have in what we're doing. But beyond an audit, the most important feature, I think, in terms of our smart contracts, is the fact that they're not owned by, there's no people with their fingers on it. If you check a lot of other DeFis, you just don't see that. You don't see that. And I think that though people generally are, it means you got to trust somebody, right? This is a trustless system. It's not about trusting anybody in particular. It's a trustless system. That was the original vision of Satoshi Nakamoto. We're trying to follow that with this new DeFi innovation, right? Do the same kinds of things, limited supply, make it trustless. And really, Bitcoin miners have a lot of say in what happens with Bitcoin. We've seen the forks and the dissension and people changing stuff. None of those things can happen here. None of those things can happen here.
From top to bottom, one of the gentlemen has asked, can you possibly go through from where it says, you know, copy invitation? Like, can you go from top to bottom and just explain that whole thing for the people that are newer here?
Yeah, let's just reset. So what will happen is you'll get a link, and it'll take you to here. Okay. And, MetaMask is, you connect your MetaMask wallet by clicking on the connect wallet. And what happens is it goes out, and this is my wallet address. This is my community building link. So anybody that comes to this link and, accesses this financial system through this link is my person, right? And I can copy that, tweet it out, send it out, share it, right? This shows that I was invited by we don't know who that is. It's anonymous. And then we have 3 different assets that you can transact in right here. We have Ethereum, which is great because if you buy energy with Ethereum and stake it with Ethereum, what's going to happen here is if I put in 1 Ethereum, it's going to go, oh, I don't have one there. If I put in 06 Ethereum, what's going to happen is it's going to send that, it's going to convert that to US dollar coin. It's going to send that to the US dollar coin energy on Uniswap. It's going to deposit. This all happens for you. You don't have to do this yourself. Deposits it, pulls out energy, then puts it into the staking contract for you with 1 click. So that's pretty cool. You also can do the same with US dollar coin. The only difference is if you use US dollar coin, you still need Ethereum to pay the transaction fees. So it's a little more complicated. You got to have Ethereum. If you just use Ethereum straight up, you don't have that problem. And if you own energy and you had purchased it and you want to get into staking, you can enter it here and you just stake it. It's that simple. And I think what we could probably do is just do like a hit stake. I don't really like to take up the staking room, so I'm just going to probably cancel this because I don't want to stake, make it available. But right now it's this is kind of prime time. Gas fees. I mean, the best time to do this is early morning hours, right?
So Alan, in speaking on this, is there going to be any ability in the future, maybe when we have a little bit more notoriety, and you and I haven't spoken about this yet, so this is new for you too to hear, but is there any possibility in the future of this being used on BSC, on being used on Binance Smart Chain, therefore limiting the fees and creating the ability for people to have transactions and not paying the exorbitant gas fees?
Sure. Binance, well, that's one of the reasons why I think Ethereum has dropped off, is because they're losing market share because they're a victim of their own success. So yes, we can. We've chosen to be on Uniswap and Ethereum because, quite frankly, it's the leader. Binance Chain is cheaper, but you don't have the same kind of liquidity or access to capital over there yet. But what we're instead looking to do is create level 2 services. Level 2 services, what it does is we still use Ethereum to basically do our custody. We deposit our funds on Uniswap and on Ethereum. But the transaction part, once that's done, can be done on what's called level 2, just like with Binance Chain. The transaction fees are minimized. So when people are doing these different transactions, that process is kept to minimum. And then when people want to actually get liquidity and transfer their funds are sitting in the liquidity pool on Uniswap, and they're there, and they can use the level 2 to communicate with that, and then withdraw their funds and send it to their wallet. So those are the development, and we have people in our group that have extensive experience in not only developing trading systems, but also developing new exciting level 2 services. So yeah, that's going to be the holy grail, right? Getting those new level 2 services out. It's going to save money, and obviously more competition is good too, right? So right. I would imagine if more people go to Binance Chain, you're going to continue to see the price of Ethereum, and the costs drop as well. Now I use a site called Ether Gas Station. It's ETH Gas Station. It gives you a pretty good idea about where the gas prices are. Right now, the first time you do your stake, it costs you more, but it knows who you are, and the next time you'll have much lower transaction costs. Okay. And that's just the way, because it's doing more on the first time. It has to approve the transaction and other things, so it costs more the first time around. Now over here we have total market making staking balance. This is the total number of coins that are in market maker staking. That represents a great portion of the available coins are actually on the market. So a large percentage of people are saving long term. They want those mining rewards. They want to participate in the dynamic growth of this financial system, and there's strong demand for the market making staking balance. Over here shows the total market making rewards generated. This is for everybody. This also here you have the what's left for the week. Okay, and this shows us how much was added this week. It's been a short week. I mean, it's just Saturday at 3 o'clock. Here we are, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's gone, right? Absolutely gone. Strong demand for staking. It's very strong demand because people realize this is a great deal. I can get my funds into staking, and I can earn money over the next X number of weeks at a phenomenal return, and then participate in the growth as we build more liquidity for energy. You can see the numbers, right? Lots of great things can happen for us, though we don't know for sure. And our risk in this, I'm not going to tell you that there is no guarantee. But if you look at the numbers, and if you're a numbers person, and you look at where we are in liquidity, what the numbers compare it to the massive amounts of coins and developer takes and open contracts that can be changed, and compare it to what we're offering. I mean, we're a financial system. We're not an arbitrage platform, as many people in DeFi are. We're simply a financial system that is going to benefit from developer revenues and growth in the type of apps. And apps are not limited to just financial. There's no limit to what you can do with a decentralized app. Now, there is some limitations on the technology right now, but those are fast closing. You may see a day here soon where Amazon Web Services isn't as dominant of a player as they are today.
Alan, last but not least, we have about 5 minutes left. Can you briefly go over the minting schedule, where we are, where 100 weeks brings us at, where you see the actual amount of coins that we have at capacity, and so people can understand what each one of these columns really means in a very clear, concise breakdown?
Sure. Okay. So right here is obviously this column here on the left. This is the total supply. But keep in mind, it's only a supply if capital purchases it. Unlike other coins, which just prints it only when capital flows in, that's when the supply becomes available on the market. So there's a difference between supply and real availability. For example, we have minting supply. Okay, we have liquidity supply. This liquidity supply allows for the ability for people to get liquidity outside of market makers pulling their funds from staking out into Uniswap. Okay, the minimum reward here, reward mint, determines this is each week how much what the rewards will be if we reach the threshold. This 20% mint goes to the liquidity supply. This allows this to grow too, so that if an institution or someone large wanted to come in, we wouldn't want them to just have to go just to Uniswap to fill their order. So there is some provisions here for larger purchases to be made, which is really, really great too. But those funds really are off the market until that happens. Then we have the reward, obviously the reward mint. This is the maximum amount. This is the staking balance. Like as soon as those last coins are gone, we'll have 47,044 and 80.8 energy in market maker staking. This is the total amount. And now, are we guaranteed to have it every week? No. I mean, it's possible that we don't reach that in a particular week. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that the staking pool grows less. Rewards then over the next couple of weeks. Rewards are paid. Let me explain how. And so this is the maximum amount of new coins that can be added to market making to staking. Now, I don't think you'll find a staking program out there that limits how much you can stake. And because we do that, because it's tied to our supply, and we don't want to have too much supply coming to the market. Now you can see right here, week one, when, for example, the 11,400 4.8 coins, next week will generate a total reward of 1,140.48 coins to be shared by everybody in the market making staking contract, right? This week, we only had 864. Why? Because that was the total amount of rewards in the reward mint. And you can see as you go, the second week, the reward is 30% from the previous week. And then the final reward is 60%. So you've had 60, 30, and 10. What do you get? You get a 100% match over the course of really 4 weeks, because it pays out in the following week. And so those rewards are then shared by everybody that's in the pool. So if the pool is less, the rewards will be less, fewer coins will be produced. If it hits the maximum, then these are what the numbers will be. And then we can kind of come over here to the total supply, and you can see that if we hit this, this doesn't include the 7.5% reward burn. It also just assumes that all available coins that can be purchased are purchased. And you can see that only in the later weeks of 100 weeks do we actually get the total supply of 4.392 million, which quite frankly we'll never get to because it doesn't incorporate the burn. We don't know what the burn rate's going to be. It's going to really depend on how often people pull funds out of the staking pool. Okay. So this is as a guide, but this goes to show you we get to this number only after a considerable period of time, right? And that's basically how it works.
So last but not, we'll just ask one more question. We want to round this out to an hour. So staking ends in 100 weeks?
Staking will end. New coin creation will end. However, fees will continue to grow, will continue to build. And when you look at these rewards, I would expect, and I don't know, the vision that I would expect for myself and looking at this objectively for myself, I think the fee revenues are going to be substantial. I'm expecting to get higher fee revenues than minting rewards, and that would be wonderful if that happened. Now, it's going to depend on our user base, right? Do we get people out there with the community building program, getting lots of people to join and participate, and understand the value proposition that we're offering? It's going to depend on a lot of factors. But yes, I think this is a system, in my opinion, for myself, that's well positioned to grow well into the future, not just 100 weeks, but well into the future. So I think that it's a, like I said, a financial system designed on equitable fairness, and also that something we all can rely on.
I think there's one thing that I wanted to touch on here is to let you guys know, for some of you guys that are new, and you can see my screen, right? So look, now the price is 99.7. So it went up a little bit more than it was before. But here's what I want you guys to understand. In a matter of practically 8 days since we really kicked this off, we're looking at 1.1 million that we put into this with zero marketing, right? We're just sharing the experience with people. with maybe 2 days or maybe 2.5 days of the community builder program being rolled out. That's basically it. And, you know, this volume is what's coming in 24 hours. The fees are now if you have a liquidity pool, then those fees are going to be, you're going to be earning in that percentage as well, right? So that's something important to understand. So if you look here, so like this is mine, right? So I have 2.42%.
Am I sharing or are you sharing? I think I'm sharing.
No, I'm sharing.
You are? Okay.
Yeah. So there's 2.42% that I'm actually earning in, if we go back here, in these fees, right? So break that down, 2.4%, do the math, and that's exactly what it is, right? But as the fees continue to increase, as the adoption continues to increase, then that fee percentage stays the same, but the amount goes up because there'll be more that's put into this capital. I want you guys to understand something else here too as well, is that here, look, we're swapping USDC for NRGY, right? We see go down where people are swapping NRGY for USDC. What does that mean? That means that they can liquidate whenever they want to. And that's the whole point here. We are in full control of our funds at all times. And I think that's something really important that I want to stress with you guys, because if you don't understand that, then that's like you're missing the point. Because there are many people that have been involved with projects in the past where we have, you know, put our funds with a company, and all of a sudden that company is who we're dependent on. God forbid they go away, you know, a year later or whatever the case may be. We're dependent on that company to produce our revenue, right? That's not here. As Alan said, God forbid he's not here anymore. Guess what? This continues to run. This continues to produce for you. People can continue to develop and build upon this platform, and others that are involved now are going to get the biggest benefit because they are going to be earning from those staking rewards from the community builder program, from the fees itself, and everything else that comes into it. So guys, you're early. We're benefiting from this early. And as I said, 8 days, we put in $1 million, $1 million worth of liquidity pool. That's a short amount of time with no notoriety whatsoever. Basically just me getting the word out and a few other people. And that's basically it. So it's really important that I stress that fact that we've gone from $1.80 to $100 in about 8 days with almost nothing, like in terms of people or anything like that. That's just going to continue to grow. And as more dApps continue to be built upon the platform, it's just going to become more and more expansive, which is going to allow people to get more and more of their rewards. Because here, I'm going to give you a hypothetical example, but just hear me out. You put in 5 coins, okay? You're staking 5 coins. You're not earning the 25 on that reward. You're not earning the 25. You're not earning on the fees, but you have 5 coins. And I'm saying this for the everyday person, almost. You have 5 coins, okay? 5 coins is what you have there. But over the 100 weeks, you're talking about an ability to actually get that ramped up to anywhere between 5 to 7 times that amount. Let's say it's 5 times that amount. Let's say it's 25 coins 2 years later. 2 years later, you're at 25 coins, but now those coins are each worth $1,000. Do the math. You're paying $500 now, but then you're going to reap those rewards. And at any point in time along those lines, you can unstake and then just take it out. Just know that you're going to get a 7.5% burn. That's it. That's literally how it works.
Yeah, that's a good question. So you have to have MetaMask, okay, which is really important. You can also use Trust Wallet, and if you need help with those type of things, that's where this community builder team can help you, right? Get a handle on it. First time around, it's, you know, let's just face it, it could be made a lot easier. We're trying, you know, one of the goals of developing apps is to take the complexity out, make it simplified, and make it easier for people to use. Now, we're at 166. 165 has 2.9 million liquidity. Imagine what the multiple would be on our coin at 2.9 million liquidity. Imagine what it will be at 3, at 4, at 5. You can see, you can't just look at the price. You got to look at the liquidity and what is the growth, because the liquidity is reflected in the value of the coin. So we have a long way to go. We want to get bigger. We want a big share, a big piece. Right now, we're small, and we appreciate you guys looking at this, understanding it, taking a serious look at it, and we're here to. I mean, Peter will, I'm sure, can help you and answer questions and help us, all of us, move along and attract more holders and more people. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alan. I do appreciate everyone's time. We are going to be doing this henceforth. We are going to be doing this once a week. So we're going to have an investors meeting where everybody's going to get together, ask whatever questions you have in this exact format, and we will go from there. Alan, so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.